Hey guys, this is Cam from 15, and I'm back at it with another video for you guys. And I'm here with another Stargirl Season 1 review. And man, this show is really good. I'm getting very much intrigued, especially in the end credits scene. This show is actually, doing a really good job. And I'm really starting to like it. But I'm here to review Stargirl Episode 2. And yeah, so let's get into it. So the episode starts off from where it took place last week. And essentially, in the new armor mech suit Pat is in, he helps Courtney get out of the way and helps Courtney escape from Brainwave. Um, Now, we later get revealed that Pat built the mech suit from car parts essentially, and he's still testing it out and stuff like that to see if it's working. Um, you know, we found out some information of the fact that because Courtney asked Pat like, "Wait, did my dad?" Which I'll just say this: she still believes like 100% that Sylvester is her dad. Which personally, I think that's going to be the case by the time we're going to get that revealed sometime this season, whether it's the end of the season or not. Um, I I just know that probably it's obviously a done deal that Starman is Courtney's dad. So we're gonna have to find out as the weeks go on. But yeah, but like I was saying, Pat tells Courtney that essentially Starman wasn't killed from Brainwave. He was killed by the villain named Icicle. Um, but the people Brainwave has killed was, I believe, was Johnny Thunder. They said, and Hawkman and Hawk Girl. So yeah, those are the two people Brainwave killed. Now Brainwave does talk. I forgot the dude's name, but he does talk to somebody, and he does end up talking to somebody. I guess who used to be in the Injustice Society, but is trying like on the outside of it, fiddling back and forth. But he essentially tells him like, yeah, there's another holder at the staff, and he's brainwave this episode is trying to find out, who is the person. Um, Going on, Courtney, she does like I said earlier, she wants a costume, and she still believes that Starman is her dad. Now Pat kind of denies that. He's like, "Listen, you can't be doing this stuff because you're only gonna get your mom and Mike into trouble, and when the villains find out your identity, guess what? You're screwed when it comes to the people you love." Another revelation we also do get is that our man is alive, but apparently they said he died in an accident on the way to Blue Valley, and essentially that's why Pat's filling in for him, and he's supposed to do the work for the heroes. So it cuts, a little bit later. We do get this very funny scene where the mom, or Barbara, tells, Pat and Courtney why they have like these bruises on their faces. And they both give a funny, reason like, oh, we fell down the stairs in the basement. There's like a really bad set of stairs that, you can trip and fall. And it was funny and stuff like that. And it was funny because Mike, on the other hand, he was like, why? I'm like, these two hate each other. Why are they getting along so nicely and stuff like that? So yeah, I found that funny. We also do get, I guess, a training montage with Pat using the mech, and there's just a lot of fail safes with it. Is just acting up and stuff like that, and there's a lot of gags and stuff. It's hilarious. We cut then to Brainwave, I guess interrogating his son more on, with about Courtney and seeing trying to get more information out of him. Like he questions the fact like, is who you fought a girl? And Harry kind of is like, I don't know. I couldn't tell really. It was too dark. And then all of a sudden, Brainwave essentially kind of asked Harry like, can you like read my mind or something like that? He's essentially trying to see if Harry has powers, which I believe at some point in the season, especially with how the last few minutes the episode ended off today, um, I think it's without a doubt Harry will get his powers. It's gonna trigger somehow. I think maybe it'll trigger from what happened to his dad based on the end of the episode tonight. I just have a feeling like he's gonna get his powers, and who knows, maybe he'll be the rival to Courtney's Stargirl. Um, so then we go back to the school. Courtney goes into this, I guess this, room where I guess people can do all these knitting and stuff like that. She uses like, what is the little knitter gun or whatever. Um, and essentially those all break because essentially I guess the suit's fabric is too strong for the needle. But as eventually she uses scissors, which helps the suit get better. She makes it to where it's able to fit her better and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. So that's how she makes her suit. Um, Pat's also going around, Blue Valley, and he goes into this, I guess you could say, this gym place, and essentially he's gonna get a workout regimen to essentially, I guess, bulk up, or what he said was get ripped, and stuff like that. So the trainer throughout the episode who's helping him, he's like, make sure you don't eat all that stuff, like don't eat all this junk food and stuff like that. So I found that was funny. Now we cut back to the to the school with Courtney, and it goes to lunch. We find out the girl sitting next to her, or the one black girl, she sits next to in this episode. She's calling her parents on, like, I guess, Zoom or something like that, like some kind of FaceTime. But she's talking to her parents, and she calls her mom and she calls her dad. We later come to find out that Brainwave actually works with the mom, and the girl brings up the fact like, oh, I can't wait, for open house and stuff like that. And then Brainwave's like, oh, there's going to be an open house, because in the meantime he actually has Courtney's school ID, but the only problem is he can't find out what she looks like because the ID was actually burned. So he's looking like through the school files for her ID or what she looks like and stuff like that, because even they said, her name, even the girl said her name Courtney. My friend Courtney is on the call too. So, and then it brings up the fact, and then when they bring up the fact about open house, he kind of stops. He's like, oh, there's an open house, and then the girl's mom's like, oh, I bet you would have known that since your son goes to school. And so yeah, so then it cuts to back to the school, and it's the open house. I never went to, in all the times I've been to high school, and even school alone, even even elementary school. This is the one of the first times I've ever seen an open house ever being, well, an open house be held in a gym. First things first, and then two, there's like a legit assembly meeting, at the open house. I never had that. Like, Jesus, you know, maybe they could have been more accurate to like today's time, where you know you essentially just go to open house. You go into any classes. You can be able to talk to the teachers and stuff like that. And like, I never had an open house where um, it was just an assembly meeting, and then you just talk and get to know each other, other people in the gym and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, interesting. I do believe there was a senator there, who is pretty famous, there and stuff like that. I think like one of the senators of the who help runs Blue Valley. She does point out her son or something like that, which I did find funny because the son's like, "Mom, come on and calm down," like essentially embarrassing, him, and he finds it offensive, like he's beginning to embarrass. So I found that funny too. So then, in the meantime, as the, I guess, assembly's going on, Brainwave, it cuts back to Brainwave and Courtney, and they're kind of just looking for each other to make sure, that they know each other's there. Essentially, when everyone's just mingling and talking and just, essentially communicating with each other, Brainwave, he's looking around to see if he can find Courtney. The same goes for Courtney. Eventually, to the point, what is it? Brainwave hears one of her thoughts when Courtney actually runs into him from a distance, and then eventually they run into this school. Like they went into one of the like hallways in the school, and essentially, Brainwave kind of just really they talk about Starman a bit, saying like you're thinking of Starman as your dad or something like that. And then eventually Brainwave makes, the threat saying, well, I'm going to kill your mom if you don't bring me the cosmic staff by midnight here at the school. So, he makes that threat, and obviously this scares the ever living daylight of Courtney. She tells Pat, and eventually, Pat finds a way to get out of the school by saying like, "Oh yeah, the pigs in a blanket" or something like that. I think that's what they said. I think that's what it was in the episode. He's like, "Yeah, they didn't set well in the summer." I did find it funny. The moment they leave, there's like this, I guess, school waiter, who has these pig in the blankets, and the people are like, no, I'll pass, which I found hilarious. So that was funny. So they go back to the house. Pat tells Courtney, essentially like, listen, if I don't come back by the morning, take your mom and Mike and get them out of here, get them out of Blue Valley and get them to safety. Essentially, he's saying like, listen, if I don't make it back, I'm just essentially he's well, really essentially he's just offering himself up as a sacrifice. Now, this was a really emotional scene. I give credit to, especially in the next couple of scenes, with this scene and the scene with her mom. Brooke Bessinger did a good job of showing like the emotion of the fact that what she's going through. Like a villain just made a threat to kill her mom, and then you see even though she doesn't like her stepdad, she's starting to show that actually she's starting to care about him, from the fact that she doesn't want to lose Pat, obviously because Pat makes her mom happy, and you can see the fact. And like I said, this was great acting by Breck Bessinger. I just liked the facial reactions, especially when Pat was leaving the house, because she looked really concerned for Pat and just like, well, this is obviously building their Pat Courtney relationship, the father daughter relationship, well, father stepdaughter, stepfather stepdaughter relationship. More from the standpoint of Courtney's actually starting to care more about Pat, and she's actually concerned about him. Then like I said, her Courtney and her mom have a nice little talk, about the whole Pat situation, the whole moving stuff, and Courtney's trying to hold back the tears and stuff like that because obviously she's like affected from the fact that she knows that there's a freaking killer villain who can kill her mom at any instant he wants to, and the fact that Pat's already left to essentially, try to essentially throw down his life so Courtney and the others can get out of there. Um, so yeah, and she, she's trying to hide the tears from her mom. She even looks away and stuff like that because otherwise the mom would be like, "Whoa, why are you crying?" Like I said, great acting by Brooke Bessinger. You could see the emotion coming from her face. That was really good, and it was really emotional. And it really actually tugged hard on the string to the point it almost made me to start to actually tear up a bit. Like I was like, Jesus, this is emotional. I'm starting to tear up here. Um, Essentially, Pat eventually finds Brainwave. He confronts Brainwave. He starts fighting, but Brainwave essentially he's using his psychic powers to essentially, you know, handle everything. Pat's throwing at him. Pat's like throwing cars. He even does his fist thing. Like I guess an Android 16 rocket punch. That doesn't even work. And it cuts back to Courtney, and eventually she puts the costume on and she flies off with the staff to help Pat. And Pat looks like he's in danger. He's about to possibly get killed. Next thing you know, Courtney as Stargirl shows up and essentially saves the day and gives a good few beatings to Brainwave. Now it looks like Brainwave has her pinned down and she's trying to reach for her staff, but she can't reach to it yet. And then Brainwave comes up on her and it's like, listen, since you disobeyed me, essentially, I'm gonna make sure you face something worse than death. So he puts her hand on her, and I'm guessing he's probably gonna like give her like some kind of head, trauma or something like that, where we'll kill her, And Pat comes to realization. He uses like this, like I guess this really bright light, coming from the suit to block Brainwave from hurting Courtney. Courtney actually grabs the staff and then puts the staff up to Brainwave's head, and we later find out that essentially from this attack. Brainwave got a seizure from this and stuff like that. And then and then it cuts to the hospital because that's what the doctor says. Harry's there, and Harry, looking at his dad in the hospital, he is very upset. And he looks like he wants vengeance on whoever did that to his dad. My only thing is, I wonder where I guess the mom is at in all this. Who knows? Maybe his mother passed away. We have yet to see Harry's mom. So it is interesting. So obviously, like I said, Harry's obviously obsessed, which I believe this vengeance tour could lead to him obtaining the awakening of his powers. So yeah. Um, Courtney and Pat have a nice little talk, and essentially, they talk about the fact that guess what, I want to be here, I want to help, and Courtney's saying like, look, you're my sidekick, and I believe in you, and I want you to be my sidekick. So it's still expanding that Courtney Pat relationship, so that is good. Courtney also does give the official name to Pat's hero's name, and she calls him Stripe. I think that was the title of the episode today too, or tonight too. So yeah, um, I'm not gonna say the entire thing, but she came up with a funny thing. Like the only last part I know, she said, "Well, Pat enhancement" or something like that. So it was a funny little scene. And we also do find out the cosmic staff was built by Ted Knight. It wasn't built by Starman, so essentially Pat does not know the properties or the reasoning why the Injustice, Society wants, the Injustice Society of America wants the staff so bad, or what's so important about it, or what's it made of. So yeah. And then the last scene we get this one interesting man essentially going down into this, hidden bunker. We find out later his name is Jordan. He actually, runs into this gate which is holding, or this like cell which is holding Solomon Grundy. Yes, Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday, dies on a Tuesday, I believe. That guy. Um, he mentions you see Solomon Grundy, only you see his eyes. They're still hiding him. Obviously, I can't wait to see when they finally, unleash him. Um, you know, he comes out. This one dude calls him Jordan, and then we later find out that he is Icicle. And as we all know, Icicle's the one that killed Starman. So next week, it seems like we're going to get, shockingly, quickly, if anything, we're getting Stargirl versus Icicle. I thought they would save that for maybe a few more episodes, but heck, maybe he could have been like, I don't know, that may possibly the season finale villain. Who knows? It is interesting that, like I said, it is interesting that we're getting Stargirl versus Icicle like right off the bat. I thought they would at least give it maybe a few episodes, but hey, if they want to give us it, that's fine. I did like the cliffhanger though. I did like the cliffhanger because it was pretty crazy. So yeah. And I can't wait for next week. Like I said, this was another good Stargirl episode. This show is actually doing really good, and I'm liking it a lot. So yeah. It's catching my attention, and I think some people should give this show a chance. It's actually a really good show, and I think people are actually starting to lighten up and like the show. And yeah, I think personally it's a good show, and I think it's only getting better. So I can't wait for episode 3 next Tuesday. So till then, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. So if you like this video, leave a like, and if you want to put in a comment regarding the episode and what's your thoughts on it, put in the comment section. And as well as hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Stargirl content, which will Stargirl episode reviews in the near future. So till then, guys, I'm gonna catch you guys on the next video. Hopefully, you guys have a great night. Peace.